What's going on, guys? Welcome to your Election Day stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Today is obviously Election Day. If you have already voted, great job. Your voice will be heard. If you have not voted yet, it's not too late. Get out there and go vote. Now, many people here on YouTube have asked me recently about the possibilities of a stimulus check coming in the next couple of weeks. Possibly this week, maybe next week. And I want to explain what is currently going on. The first thing that you need to know is that we are currently waiting for the first domino to drop, which is who wins the presidential election. Will it be President Trump? Will it be Joe Biden? That's the first domino. Second thing we are waiting on is who will have control over the Senate. Will it still be Republicans or will it be Democrats? That will be the second domino. The next thing that we have to wait on after we know who is president and who will be in control of the Senate as of January 3rd, the third thing that we need to do is we have to negotiate the terms, because Joe Biden, if he's elected president, he wouldn't become president until January 21st. If the Senate doesn't regain control or doesn't remain in control over, or the Republicans do not remain in control over the Senate, then Democrats don't regain control until January 4th. Or actually January 3rd, I believe. And so all this stuff, all these dates are extremely important. And so right now, or as of tomorrow until January 2nd is the time where it's kind of a lame duck session where the Senate can pretty much do whatever they want to try to do, push, different things through, and this will be fine. But here's the deal. Everything needs to happen quickly. If things change, then things need to happen quickly. So, what the goal is right now, the goal is just to get an agreement done. That means Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin and the Trump administration, they need to come to an agreement. Nobody's changing yet. So nothing's going to happen. We're still in the same situation that we have been for the past few months, except there could potentially be a different outcome in a few months. So those are the three dominoes. Figure out the president, who's going to be the president, who's going to be our commander-in-chief for the next 4 years, who's going to control the Senate. We need to know that. And then the stimulus negotiation. That needs to be verbally agreed upon. Now, those are the three things. Those will happen very quickly, in my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion. We will see who's the next president, hopefully tonight. We will have answers on the Senate, hopefully tonight as well. And we should have some idea as to what the stimulus negotiations will look like and what the bill is going to look like over the next week to possibly 2 weeks. Now, here's what you need to know. First off, Congress is still on recess. Yes, they're still on recess or holiday or on a break. However, the Senate does come back on Monday. They come back on November 9th. The House does not return to Capitol Hill or to Washington until November 16th. Those are very important days. And I say these are very important days because on November 16th, that is potentially the first day that we will see any type of agreement or potential vote. Okay, and even if a bill gets agreed upon, let's say tomorrow, it still has to go to the Congressional Budget Office so they can look it over. It still has to go to lawyers and all that stuff, right? So it's not going to happen in the next week. Just want to be clear with that, because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, we'll see a stimulus check next week." No, we won't. We could see an agreement. We could see us getting closer, but we will not see a stimulus check next week. Now, for the Senate, their priority is not going to be on the stimulus if they are to lose control on January 3rd. And if President Trump loses, their priority will be on filling vacancies in the courts. That is already what Mitch McConnell has stated, and that is what we've known for a little while. Now, again, this could change if President Trump is reelected and the GOP remains in control over the Senate. However, if Joe Biden wins and the GOP loses control to Democrats, then expect the priorities to be only on the courts until January 3rd. Here's the good news though. If President Trump is reelected, then the Senate would most likely work with him to pass a stimulus package around the $2 trillion mark. And the $2 trillion number is coming from experts, not from me. Okay? I just know what I read, I know what I research, and that is what people are saying, is that there will most likely be support at the $2 trillion level. However, anything too much higher than that, the support inside the GOP will start to drop off. As of right now, all we need is 13. Okay? 13. That's all we need. 13 Republicans to support this in the Senate, as long as all 47 Democrats support it as well, and it will pass. However, if Joe Biden wins and the GOP loses control over the Senate, then expect Republicans to negotiate with Nancy Pelosi to at least get some of what they want inside the bill. Now, here's another good thing that was just stated today by Nancy Pelosi, that Nancy Pelosi would not hold up stimulus even if there is a Democratic sweep, which means even if Democrats regain control over the Senate, Joe Biden wins the presidency, and the House is still in control, or Democrats are still in control of the House, which is most likely going to happen. Then Nancy Pelosi said she would want to pass stimulus now, and then come to the early part to middle of 2021, she would work to pass additional stimulus to satisfy weaker legislative points. So, for example, this just means that if Nancy Pelosi agrees with the Trump administration and Steve Mnuchin that, okay, $250 billion for state and local governments is fine. $400 per week in extended federal unemployment is fine. She agrees to that now. It gets passed. Everyone's happy. And then come early to mid 2021, Nancy Pelosi decides, you know what, that was enough money for state and local governments. We need an additional $100 billion. She would go to try to pass additional stimulus then. And if the $400 per week didn't suffice and people were still struggling, then she would go and pass additional stimulus then. So that is good news. That is good news that she is open to passing some stimulus now and more later on. This is exactly what Steve Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, President Trump, Mitch McConnell have all stated for about 5 months. Let's pass targeted stimulus now, and then if we need more, we can always come back to the table and request more stimulus. That's fine. Nancy Pelosi rejected it all then. However, now that things could potentially turn and this is election day, now she's on the other foot. She's on the fence, and she likes the idea of, let's do a little bit now, and then if we need more, we can request more later. And I know many people are still worried about what might happen, what might be included in the next stimulus bill. And so I want to explain what we know as of right now will be included. These things would be stimulus checks, maybe even larger stimulus checks. However, they will not be retroactive and they will not be monthly. Now, Kamala Harris was one of the first ones that proposed a $2,000 per month stimulus check to the American people. This would have been great because this would have seen the American people get so far like $10,000 over the last 5 months. So this would have been really good. However, it most likely will not happen. Joe Biden, I don't think he's supporting the $2,000 monthly stimulus check, and I know he wouldn't support a retroactive stimulus check of that size. Also, rental assistance, we know that's going to be in there. School funding, food assistance, United States Postal Service funding, liability protections, testing, tracing, and treatment funding. That will be a big one. Extended unemployment, possibly for self-employed individuals as well, and state and local government funding. There is much more that will be added into this. However, this is what we know right now is going to be included no matter what. No matter if President Trump is in office, no matter if Joe Biden's in office, and no matter who controls the Senate. So, in election news, currently, the battleground states, these are the important states that we need to look at leading up to tonight. The battleground states include Arizona, Iowa, Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Nevada, Texas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire. Those are the 13 states we need to look at. Here is a a weird stat. It's a fact that I want you to be aware of. In the last 30 elections, the candidate that won Ohio won 28 out of the 30 times. So, right now, Ohio is a very important state. So is Florida, so is Michigan, so is Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Texas. Those are the big ones. Now, it is also reported that President Trump must win Florida, Arizona, and Texas to even have a chance of getting reelected. Many experts are saying that based on how things are breaking down as of right now, we should know who the winner of the presidential election is sometime later on tonight, most likely anywhere between 10 and 11 p.m. This is very good news because as of right now, the stock market has been struggling, has been going up and down because there is not much certainty in the markets. The stock market does very poorly with uncertainty. So, this is good news that we should have an answer sometime tonight. This is also good news because as soon as we have answers regarding who the next president's going to be and who will be in control of the Senate, we will then have a much better understanding of how stimulus negotiations will go and progress moving forward. And the best part is, and something that I'm personally looking forward to, is that as of today, we will see the political games stop. We won't see any political games moving forward because we will have answers. One major issue happening all across the country right now has to do with unemployment though. And this is a big issue. Currently, multiple states have been issuing unemployment letters to their recipients stating they must pay back all their unemployment benefits. This is happening because the systems, when they were first introduced, were very confusing in the beginning of this pandemic, and many people filed the wrong type of unemployment. These letters are mostly going out to people that were filing for the self-employed unemployment, which is the PUA, Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. Now, if you were self-employed, or if you are self-employed and you didn't qualify for regular unemployment, then what you had to do was file for regular unemployment, you get a denial letter, and then once you get that denial letter, you will go and file for Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. But if you were to skip the denial letter and somehow make it into Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, or you were somehow tricked the system into giving you regular unemployment, that is where people are getting these letters, and the state is requesting the money to be paid back. Now, in order for you to get the other benefit, the true benefit that you should be getting, based on what I've been reading on all these reports, is that you have to pay back the money first in order to then go and transfer it to the other account, and then you will get paid back or pretty much reimbursed there, and you can continue on with your unemployment. That is what I'm finding out right now, which I think is very difficult because a lot of people are saying they do not have the money to pay back this unemployment benefit. And on top of that, even if they had the money, which most people don't, they probably wouldn't have needed unemployment. So, we will see what goes on now. Now, what I can tell you is that if you have received a letter from the unemployment office, don't put it off. Don't just avoid it. They will get their money at some point. Okay? Don't put it off. What I suggest is you call your local unemployment office and you work with them to figure out what is going on and what is the best solution moving forward. Now, here's what I promise you. I will come back on later on today, explain what is going on with the new election news, updates that we might see, because I can tell you right now, this election is going to be the biggest election we've ever seen. This election is going to affect each and every one of us. Not just the presidential election, but the Senate races as well. This is a big election. This update that I'm going to give you later on today is going to be huge. Huge, right? So we will see what happens moving on. We will see what happens going forward. But as of right now, what I can tell you is that tomorrow morning, stimulus negotiations will pick up. The negotiations this week, depending on who wins, they could be great, but they also could be bad. So we will know more a little bit later on today. I will come back, let you know what's going on, fill you in on all the updates. But again, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys a little bit later on.